Jai Sai Ram, Chapter 13. Do trust on Sadguru, strange bed of Sri Sai Baba, incarnation of God Sri Sai, living in Shri, aim of Sai incarnation and preachings. Sadguru Sri Sai Nath, humility of Sri Sai Baba, story of Nanavali. Do trust on Sadguru. Always remember Sai Baba with love because he always remains ready for the welfare of others and remain merged in the soul. Remembering him is to solve the secret of life and death. Till the senses are strong, this penance must be performed. All deities are delusive, only the Guru is God. We must have faith in his lotus feet. He is Bhagya Vidyatha, maker of fate of man and lovely Lord. Those who serve him with infinite love, they must be free from this bhavsagar, that's worldly ocean. There is no need to study Nyay Mimasa, justice, six systems of Hindu philosophy. As faith is reposed on the sailor while crossing the river ocean, similarly for crossing the Bhavsagar worldly ocean, we must repose our faith on Sadguru, the wonder bed of Sai Baba. Sri Nana Sahib Dengle brought a 4-hand long, palm-full, wide piece of plank. Baba hung it with old rugs of the mosque on the log as a swing and began to sleep on it. As the rugs were very thin and weak, its making a swing was looked by people as a puzzle. Rugs were unable to bear the weight of the plank itself. Then how will they bear the weight of Baba's body? But it was the Leela miracle of Baba that the rugs were bearing the weight of a plank and Baba. Everybody was astonished to see Baba seated on sleeping on it. As to how Baba climbed and got down from it, but nobody was able to know its secret, and the crowd multiplied to know it. That's why one day Baba broke the plank and threw it out. Though Baba possessed all the 8 accomplishments, but he never used them or had any wish to do so. Incarnation of Sri Sai. In appearance, Sri Sai Baba was a common man of 3.5 hand long. Even then, he was present in all hearts. He was untouched and stable, but was always worried for the human welfare. He had absolute calmness in his heart for the devotees, but outwardly he looked restless. From inside he was Brahmanyani, one knowing the Brahma, that is God, but outwardly he looked to be entangled in worldly affairs. He was calm, quiet, and patient. He always remained strong and merged in the Supreme Soul, and he always cared for his devotees. He always remained seated on one seat. He never set out for travel. His scepter was a small stick, which he always kept carefully with him. Due to non-apprehension, he was calm. He never cares for the riches and fame, always adhered on arms. Allah Malik always remained on his lips. Living in Shri, nobody knows correctly about his parents and his date of birth. Even then, a guess can be made from his living in Shri. When Sai Baba came first in Shri, his age was just 16 years. After living for 3 years in Shri, he again disappeared. After some time, he appeared near Aurangabad, Nizam State, and he came again to Shri, accompanying the marriage procession of the brother-in-law's son of Chand Patel. At that time, he was 20 years old. He continuously lived in Shri for 60 years and took his Mahasamadhi, great contemplation, in 1918. According to these facts, it can be said that his date of birth was 1838. Aim of Sai incarnation and preachings. Saint Ramdas appeared in 17th century 1608-1681 and he protected cows and Brahmins from the Muslims. But just 2 decades enmity developed between Hindus and Muslims and to dissolve it Sai Baba appeared. He had only this preaching for all. Ram, the god of Hindus, and Rahim, the Buddha of Muslims, are one, and there is no difference between them. Then his followers, why you quarrel with each other? Ignorant child, both races live together in unity and peace. Remain calm, this way achieve the goal of national unity. Quarrel and controversies are useless. Therefore, either do not quarrel and become life-taking of each other. Always think of your favor and well-being. Sri Hari will do protect you. Yoga, one of the 6 schools of Hindu philosophy. Vairagya, detachment, tapa, penance, jnana, knowledge, etc. are ways of reaching near God. If any of you cannot become successful devotee, then your birth is useless. Let anybody speak ill of you, you do not oppose him. If you wish to do some good deeds, then always do good to others. In short, this is the preaching of Sai Baba. Sadguru Sri Sainath. Sri Sai Baba was such a great Sadguru who never had the thought in his mind to show the religious allegiance. Body consciousness had not even touched him, but he had endless love for his devotees. Gurus are of 2 forms, Nitya, eternal, Anitya, transitory. Due to the orders of Anitya Gurus, superior qualities develop and by purification of our mind, wisdom enhances. They are put on the path of devotion. But by simply the company of Nitya Guru, feeling of duality disappears soon. Gurus are of many kinds, who give many kinds of worldly knowledge. In reality, one after making us self-reliant, make us cross the worldly ocean, he is the Sadguru. Sri Sai Baba was Sadguru of that category. His greatness was beyond description. Those devotees who came to see Baba used to tell them the full description of all the events of his life before asking him. He visualized God in all the living beings. Friends and foes were equal in his vision. He was selfless and strong. Fortune and misfortune had no effect on him. He never got doubtful. Being corporeal, he had no attachment in his body. In fact, was Nitya Mukt, infinitely free. Those residents of Shirdi who had worshipped Sai Baba in the form of God are fortunate. They always remembered and praised Sai while sleeping, rising, eating, drinking, working in vara or the fields and the house. They never accepted any god besides Sai. What to speak of love and sweetness of ladies of Shirdi? They were very simple. Their pure heart always inspired them to write devotional songs in their rural language. Although they were not literate, but the devotional songs they wrote were real glitter of poetry. Humility of Sri Sai Baba, fame, splendor, asceticism, knowledge, wealth and generosity were existing in Sai Baba. He took Sagun avatar, visual incarnation, for fulfilling the desires of devotees. His blessing was strange. He speaks such words from his mouth for the welfare of the devotees, which Devi Saraswati could not take the courage to speak. Baba used to say with some humility, Das Ganudas, Main Tumhara Rini Home, servant of the servants, I indebted it to you. What a humbleness! Although from outwardly vision, Baba seemed to be enjoying sensual pleasures, but he had even the least odor of it and had no knowledge of their use. He ate, but he had no taste. He saw through his eyes, but he had no interest in those scenes. In relation of sensual pleasure, he was Akhan Brahmachari, religious student who observed celibacy as Hanuman. He had no interest in any matter. He was pure Chaitanya Swarupa, conscious form where all wishes, ego, and activities took rest. Story of Nanavali. There lived in Shirdi a strange man called Nanavali. He looked after all the works of Baba. When once Baba was seated in his seat, he reached to him. He himself wanted to sit on the seat of Baba. Therefore, he told Baba to get aside from there. Baba immediately left the seat and the Nanavali sat on it. After some time, he got up from there and told Baba to take his seat. Baba again sat there. Seeing the Nanavali, fell on his feet. In this way, being suddenly ordered and removed from his seat, Baba was not unhappy by the least. Nanavali used to say, "Kaka, uncle," to Baba. After Baba's seclusion, he fell ill and on 13th day, with the feeling of service of Baba, he died. Jai Sai Ram.